The story of Darth Vader. The story of Darth Vader. Take a look at Darth Vader, if you dare. He is a very dangerous man, with many terrifying powers. Darth Vader is a ruthless Sith Lord who helps rule the galaxy for the evil Emperor Palpatine. But Darth Vader was not always the masked Sith you see now. Once, he was a talented Jedi Knight called Anakin Skywalker. Read on and uncover the story of how promising young Jedi turned to the dark side of the Force. Young Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker grew up a slave on a desert planet Tatooine. His mother, Shumi, could not explain how Anakin came to be born. He had no father. Anakin was a gentle child, and he loved his mother very much. From a young age, he was skilled at making and fixing mechanical things. When he was 9 years old, he built a droid called C-3PO to help his mother. However, Anakin was impulsive and liked to take risks. A special calling. When Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi landed on Tatooine to repair their damaged ship, they met Anakin Skywalker. Qui-Gon released the young slave and had the potential to be a great Jedi. When Anakin offered to enter a dangerous pod race, Qui-Gon seized the opportunity to win the parts he needed for the ship and Anakin's freedom. The Jedi was sure that Anakin's power would help him win the race. He was right. Freed from slavery, Anakin was able to leave Tatooine with the Jedi. But first, he had to say goodbye to his mother. A new life begins. After leaving Tatooine, Qui-Gon asked the Jedi Council to let Anakin become his apprentice, but it refused. The council thought that Anakin was already too old, and some wise members also sensed danger in Anakin's future. So when Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan went on a special mission, Anakin went too. Anakin and the Jedi liberated the planet Naboo from the Trade Federation invasion. When Anakin piloted the Starfighter and destroyed the Trade Federation's droid control ship, the Jedi Council changed its mind. Although Qui-Gon had been killed by Sith, Obi-Wan promised to train Anakin instead. Jedi training. Anakin Skywalker returned to the Jedi Temple on a capital planet, Coruscant. To begin his training, he was taught how to use and control his incredible Force powers. Anakin was also instructed in the ways of the Jedi Knights. Jedi must be calm and not governed by emotions. They are peace-loving and use their skills only to defend, never to attack. As Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi's Padawan learner or apprentice, Anakin came to view Obi-Wan as the closest thing he had to a father figure. Increasing frustration. Anakin loved and respected Obi-Wan, but often felt frustrated by him. Anakin was confident in his Jedi abilities, and felt that Obi-Wan was holding him back. He was tired of being just a Padawan. Obi-Wan knew that Anakin had the potential to be a powerful Jedi Knight. But he also believed that Anakin had not yet mastered his emotions, and a Jedi should. Obi-Wan was proved right when Anakin was returned with Padme Amidala after 10 years. The feelings that Anakin had felt for her as a boy had not gone away. Soon, he would no longer be able to control them. Powerful friend. The galaxy was formed as a republic, which meant that it was ruled by a senate in which all the planets had representatives. As his frustration grew, Anakin found himself turning to Chancellor Palpatine, leader of the Republic. Palpatine seemed to understand exactly how Anakin felt. He was a good listener. Anakin believed that Palpatine was on his side, unlike Obi-Wan. Anakin did not realize that Palpatine was secretly trying to destroy the Republic and seize power for himself. Unstoppable feelings. Palpatine's sinister influence increased Anakin's frustration with Obi-Wan and the Jedi Order. and left him feeling very confused. When he was chosen to escort Padme back to Naboo, he finally lost a battle to control his feelings for her. Padme was now a senator and had a duty to serve the Republic, but she too could not prevent herself falling in love with Anakin. They were secretly married on Naboo. Jedi were not supposed to get emotionally attached to others. Anakin had broken the rules, but he didn't care. Turning to the dark side, Anakin had not forgotten his mother Shmi, who he had left on Tatooine. He began to have terrible nightmares about her, so he went to find her. Anakin went back to Tatooine. There, he discovered that Shmi had married a farmer called Clive Lars, who had freed her from slavery. Anakin also learned that his mother had been kidnapped by Sand People. He went in search of her, but he was too late, and she died in her arms. Overcome with grief and anger, Anakin took revenge on the Sand People. Jedi hero. Although he was increasingly ruled by his emotions, Anakin had not yet fully turned to the dark side. When the Republic was forced into the Clone Wars, Anakin fought bravely with the Jedi. The Clone Wars lasted for many years, and Anakin and Obi-Wan became famous heroes. Anakin felt truly alive in the heart of the battle, and his powers became even stronger. However, Anakin still felt that he was being held by the Jedi and that only Palpatine was encouraging his talents. Anakin felt that maybe the Jedi teachings were not right and that greater power lay elsewhere. The dark side wins. Toward the end of the Clone Wars, Palpatine was kidnapped. Anakin and Obi-Wan went to his aid. But it was a trap. Sith Lord Count Dooku was waiting for them. He knocked out Obi-Wan and began to fight Anakin. Palpatine urged Anakin to kill Dooku, and Anakin gave in. A short time later, Anakin chose Palpatine over the Jedi, and his transition to the dark side was complete. He knelt before Palpatine, his new Sith Master. The end of Anakin. Anakin turned his back on the Jedi and adopted the Sith name Darth Vader. On Palpatine's orders, he set out to destroy his former friends and comrades. Darth Vader also became convinced that Padme and Obi-Wan were plotting against him. He nearly killed his wife, and then faced Obi-Wan in an intense lightsaber battle. Although Darth Vader was driven by anger and the power of the dark side, Obi-Wan won the terrible fight. Vader suffered horrific injuries and burns. Rebuilding Darth Vader. Although Darth Vader's body seemed beyond repair, Palpatine refused to give up on his evil appearance. He took Vader's body to a secret medical facility where it was rebuilt using cyber technology. Vader needed special breathing equipment and life support system just to stay alive. Behind the black armor and a black helmet, it seems that no part of the human Anakin Skywalker was left. Darth Vader has given himself completely to the ways of the dark side. Padme's secret. With her husband lost to the dark side, a heartbroken Padme gave birth to twins, whom she called Luke and Leia. Loyal Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi was by her side. But Padme had no will to live without Anakin. Jedi Master Yoda decided to keep the children a secret from their father. Obi-Wan took Luke to Tatooine to live with Shmi Skywalker's stepson Owen Lars and his wife Beru. Luke's life on desert planet was hard and lonely. Leia was taken to the planet Alderaan. She was adopted by Obi-Wan's friend Bail Organa and brought up a princess. Neither twin knew that the other existed. They did not suspect that their father was feared Sith Lord Vader. The rise of Darth Vader. The Republic had been destroyed, and the evil Palpatine ruled the galaxy as Emperor. With Vader by his side, the Sith Lords would let nothing and no one stand in the way. Darth Vader's terrifying appearance, deep voice, and loud artificial breathing struck fear into the hearts of his enemies and allies alike. Even his own generals could not escape Vader's wrath, and as time went by, the Sith's power grew even stronger. Anakin Skywalker has been a brave pilot and highly skilled with lightsaber, but the dark side of the Force continued to corrupt the mind of Darth Vader. He was strangle people without even touching them, and he would read thoughts of feelings and others. Civil War. Although the Sith had destroyed the Republic and most of the Jedi, a small group of rebels bravely opposed the Empire. Known as the Rebel Alliance, they were based on the planet Yavin 4. Little did Darth Vader knew that two of the rebels were his children, Luke and Leia. The famous Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi faced his former apprentice once again. This time, Obi-Wan let Darth Vader win in order to show Luke that, thanks to the Force, a person's spirit continues after death. Rebel victory. The Emperor decided to build a superweapon known as a Death Star. It was the size of a small moon and had the power to blow up entire planets. However, the rebels managed to obtain the plans for the weapon and learned that it had a fatal flaw. One exhaust port was unprotected, and if a pilot fired torpedoes into its shaft, a chain reaction of explosions would destroy the whole Death Star. The rebels sent a squadron of starfighters, and their best pilot, Luke Skywalker, had one chance to destroy the Death Star. He did not miss. Imperial Fleet. The Rebel Alliance had only a small number of ships which already bore the scars of previous battles, but the Empire had a massive fleet of starships. The largest and the most powerful Imperial vessels were known as the Superstar Destroyers. Powered by 13 engines, the Superstar Destroyers were arrow-shaped and loaded with deadly weapons. Darth Vader's ship Executor was the most powerful Superstar Destroyer. Vader commanded the fleet, but the Emperor gave his order via hologram. Vader's revenge. When the rebels blew up the first Death Star, it made Darth Vader and the Emperor extremely angry. They began building a new Death Star, and Darth Vader set out to find and destroy the rebels responsible. Vader sent probe droids to every corner of the galaxy to find the rebels' new base. He finally located them at the planet Hoth. The Sith Lord traveled to Hoth with the Imperial fleet and launched a deadly attack. The rebels had to evacuate very quickly, and their forces were scattered far and wide across the galaxy. Cloud City. Emperor Palpatine has finally told Darth Vader the truth about Luke Skywalker. As Darth Vader laid a trap for Luke on Cloud City, he was looking for more than just a troublesome rebel. He was searching for his son. As Luke and Vader fought with no lightsabers, Luke still had no idea who lay behind the Darth Vader's mask. The fight ended when Vader chopped off Luke's hand. He revealed that he was Luke's father, and asked his son to join him and rule the galaxy. Despite his painful wound, Luke was strong with the Force. He refused to turn to the dark side. Vader's choice. For many years, Darth Vader has been loyal to Emperor Palpatine. However, meeting his son Luke, a good and true person, seemed to change him. Could it be that some part of Anakin Skywalker remained behind Vader's mask? Palpatine had predicted that Luke would come to them and he would be turned to the dark side. When Luke surrendered, it seemed that Palpatine would be proved right. As father and son fought once more, Luke felt anger and hatred and drew close to the dark side. At the last moment, Luke was able to control his feelings and refused to join the dark side. As an emerged Palpatine attacked Luke, as Anakin Skywalker finally returned from the dark side to save his son. The death of Darth Vader. At the vital moment, Darth Vader returned from his nightmare. Luke had reminded him that he was once great Jedi called Anakin Skywalker. However, as Vader saved his son, he was fatally wounded by the Emperor. As Anakin lay dying, He asked Luke to remove his helmet so that he could look at his son's face with his own eyes. When Anakin died, his body disappeared into the light side of the Force. Luke was sad that father was dead, but proud of him too. The light side of the Force had overcome the dark side, and Anakin Skywalker had returned. On the forced movement of Endor, Luke burned Vader's armor. All around the galaxy, everyone celebrated the end of Palpatine and his evil empire.